Welcome back, Eagle Line Golf. Today's story: nobody anticipated the surprise that Rafael Nadal gave Alexandra Eala. The present was more than simply a costly one. It was the type of event that permanently alters the course of a young athlete's life. You have to wonder what qualities the world is only now starting to realize in her when the greatest tennis champion in history comes out of retirement, takes up a racket, and selects one person to play with on the court. An entire country has been rendered speechless by the tale of a legend, a genius, and a friendship. I have a question for you now. How would you feel if the best tennis player of your generation sent you a private message and you didn't even notice it for 2 days? Alexandra Eala experienced just that. Eala entered the court as a wild card in March 2025 at the WTA 1000 tournament in Miami. A wild card. She wasn't sitting down. She wasn't given preference. She wasn't even intended to be a narrative. She then turned into the narrative. Jelena Ostapenko was beaten by her. She triumphed over the current Australian Open champion, Madison Keys. She then faced Iga Swiatek, the world number 2 and the dominant power in women's tennis, on the court in a moment that rocked the tennis world, and she defeated her. In front of a surprised Miami audience, she defeated the most threatening player on the WTA Tour, Iga Swiatek, a 19-year-old wildcard from the Philippines. She made history by being the first Filipino player to go to the WTA 1000 semifinals. The Filipino who made it into the top 100 first. In the course of a single tournament week, records were not only broken, but shattered one after another. And a man by the name of Rafael Nadal was observing from someplace in Spain. He took a seat and wrote his old pupil a private message. It was his very first private communication to her. After years of silently following her career, watching her train, and observing her potential from the other side of the net during practice sessions, a guy eventually made contact with her one-on-one. In an interview with her uncle, Nali Eala, on Power and Play, Eala stated, "Rafa messaged me. That was unexpected because it was the first time he had ever messaged me directly. Oddly enough, I didn't see it until a few days later. Seeing his notice was thrilling. It took her a few days to notice it. The entire moment is encapsulated in those single sentence. Its disarray, its humility, and the lovely normalcy of a young athlete, so focused on progress and competitiveness that even a message from Rafael Nadal may sit in a notification tray for 48 hours. You can only imagine how it felt when she eventually saw it. The reassurance, the comfort, the subtle affirmation that the legend had been observing and that he cared about what she had done. Naturally, the internet didn't wait 48 hours to respond. After Miami, Eala's name was well known. Filipino fans overflowed social media. Filipino communities were posting videos, articles, and condolences more quickly than any algorithm could keep up with, from Melbourne to Dubai to Toronto. One could feel the pride. The feeling was genuine. And it was just the beginning of the narrative. Here is all you need to know about Alexandra Eala's life and the world she currently lives in as a well-known international athlete. Your name turns into money when you achieve the level of fame that Alexandra Eala has. It turns into a commodity that other people exchange, that attracts clicks, and that draws attention. Furthermore, such focus isn't always based on reality in the digital era. It can occasionally be rooted in pride, optimism, or the lovely, urgent longing to see someone you care about thrive on the largest stage in the world. Eala was allegedly given a $45 million endorsement deal by Wilson's Sporting Goods in September 2025, according to a widely shared social media post. With more than 100,000 likes, it became viral on Facebook. People who firmly believed it and embraced it as the acknowledgement their country's star so richly deserved shared it. Veriphiles and Rappler fact-checkers looked into it and found it to be untrue. There was no such agreement. Wilson didn't provide anything like that. The post was a fiction enhanced by pride and based on optimism. The same pattern kept repeating itself. Allegations of sponsorships by Emirates Airlines, allegations of a Yanks racket with a Philippine symbol, each tale more detailed than the one before, all refuted, but all still going viral. People want the world to acknowledge what they already know to be true when they love someone this much. The Toyota narrative is consistent with this. The claim that Rafael Nadal gave Alexandra a Toyota as a present has not been confirmed. Let's be precise about it. In reality, Nadal gave her something considerably more important, far more challenging to value, and far more durable than a car. She received 6 years of top-notch instruction at his institution. He provided her with the structure, the discipline, and the technical underpinnings that form the basis of her whole professional game. He offered her access to his courts, coaching staff, and system. He focused on her throughout one of the most crucial stages of her athletic growth. And he sent her a private message, the first one he had ever sent her, when she made her breakthrough at Miami, to let her know he had been keeping an eye on her and to express his pride. He then made time for her on the anniversary of the final day of his working life. He may have been at any location. He had the option of spending that anniversary alone in Mana, with his family, or in private contemplation. Rather, he decided to commemorate the day by going back to the court with her. After Miami, Rafael's uncle and the first director of the Rafael Nadal Institution, Tony Nadal, said of Aya, "It's a huge success for the academy and for me in particular. She is the girl who has spent the most time with us. Throughout all of this time, neither she nor her family have ever voiced any complaints. She has demonstrated a lot of promise. She has the potential to be one of the greatest in the world if she perfects her craft. She refused to back down from Schweintek. The gift is just one sentence from the man who has spent decades training champions. Alexandra received it from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Not a check or a vehicle, but the conviction that she belongs on that court, among the greatest, and that she won't give up, built over years of hard, unrelenting labor. Furthermore, according to Aya herself, she is aware of the burden she bears. I would love to think that I make a difference, she remarked. The only way I can give back to my nation is to encourage others to take up a racket, watch more tennis, and watch more women's tennis. I also hope to spark good change. When she made her statement, she was 19 years old. What happens next in this story? Alexandra is rated 45th in the world as of February 2026. When she came in Spain as a 13-year-old girl from Quezon City with a racket, a goal, and the whole weight of a nation's hope on her shoulders, it would have been nearly impossible to fathom achieving a career high and a number. She made it to the semi-finals of the Auckland Open to start the 2026 season. She advanced to the quarterfinals of the Abu Dhabi Open. Filipino supporters have followed her to every tournament on earth since they are renowned for being committed, noisy, and passionate. Her presence on Court 6 resulted in a traffic gridlock in Melbourne. Before she ever addressed the media, supporters in Abu Dhabi poured onto the grounds with "Let's Go Aya" banners. Additionally, a picture from the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca offers a tale that no explanation can adequately express. Standing next to Ayla's parents and brother, Moiling, Rafael Nadal is not a coach or a legend. Rather, he is a family member who, in a very genuine way, helped shape the young woman into the athlete and person she is today. Regarding the practice session in November, Aya remarked, "It was my first time ever hitting with him. Additionally, I was really anxious, and I could feel the physical strain." She felt anxious. She was anxious to hit with Rafael Nadal despite spending 6 years at his academy, making it to the top 50 in the world, and defeating the world's number 2 player. And that uneasiness reveals a lot about her personality, her reverence for the true meaning of perfection, and her humility, which has kept her centered despite the chaos, celebration, and dizzying reality of international renown that have exploded around her. The false reports will continue to surface. The internet thrives on the discrepancy between what is and what people wish were true, so the viral posts asserting lavish presents, million-dollar transactions, and dramatic gestures will keep going viral. Furthermore, hoping is quite acceptable. Wanting the world to see what you see in a person you believe in is perfectly acceptable. However, the true narrative is already remarkable enough as it is. At the age of 13, a Philippine girl fled home. She trained following the method created by one of the best athletes in human history for 6 years. She earned her degree, went pro, and rose beautifully, obstinately, and gradually to the top 50 worldwide. In front of an international audience, She defeated the world's second-ranked player. The player's tutor sent her the first private message she had ever received. Additionally, that mentor decided to share his first time back on a tennis court in a year with her on the anniversary of his retirement. The word has completely lost its meaning if that is not a gift. Whether Alexandra has what it takes is not the question that will dominate women's tennis for the next 10 years. She has responded to it already. The issue is how far she will go, and if the foundation Rafael Nadal helped create, the conviction Tony Nadal validated, and the passion that permeates everything she says and does would be sufficient to propel her to the top. And as you wrap up this section of the narrative, consider this. In 2024, Carlos Eala won 2 gold medals for the Philippines in the Olympics in Paris. And in return, the nation gave him anything from condos to a lifelong supply of ramen. The Philippines is adept at honoring its heroes. It understands how to give its everything, including love and pride, to those who fly its flag on the international scene. To far, Alexandra has not taken home an Olympic gold medal. She has yet to take home a Grand Slam championship. At the age of 20, she already holds the record for highest-ranking Filipino tennis player in history. When she does win the slam, what will happen? What happened to the girl who left home at the age of 13, trained for 6 years in Spain, and refused to give up when she faced Ishii? When she eventually raises a Grand Slam trophy above her head, what will happen? The world will respond. The Philippines is going to blow apart. And a retired superstar with 22 Grand Slam victories and a wink emoji beside to his name at Monaco, Spain, will most likely grin subtly and remark, "I always knew." This is not just a narrative about tennis. It tells the account of what occurs when a little girl's dream combines with the legacy of a legend, when talent finds the appropriate setting, and when a whole country chooses to believe before the rest of the world does. Neither Alexandra nor the guy who helped create her appear to be waiting for approval from the outside world. The narrative continues. It's just getting started. Please leave a remark below. In the upcoming 3 years, do you believe Alexandra will be able to win a Grand Slam? Do you think Aya would already be Nadal's choice if he had to choose one player on the current WTA Tour to serve as a mentor? Please click the subscribe button if this story touched you, if you felt the weight of what this young lady has already achieved and the magnitude of what remains ahead. We share tales like this one every week, and you don't want to miss what comes next.